That was an opinion of somebody, and that was a retweet. I'll put it out there. People can decide for themselves. I don't take a position.
You're not like...
I went in yesterday and there was a television screen, and I said, this is genius.
Early in the morning, they went to the table with the black robe, the black shield, and they pulled out the votes. Those
'But it's a class action lawsuit against all machines and that they're defective devices, okay? I have lawyers worked on this for 5 months.
$7 million for reef fish management, $25 million to combat Asian carp.
Really, how many people do that? You mean they moved out and then they said, "Oh, the hell with it, I'll move back in"? You know, it doesn't sound like very normal. You mean they moved out and what? They missed it so much that they wanted to move back in? Yeah, it's crazy.
Well,
And then they have cans of soup. And they throw the cans of soup. That's better than a brick because you can't throw a brick, it's too heavy. But a can of soup, you can really put some power into that, right? And then when they get caught, they say, no, this is soup from my family. They're so innocent. This is soup from my family. It's incredible. And you have people coming over with bags of soup, big bags of soup, and they lay it on the ground, and the anarchists take it and they start throwing it at our cops, at our police. And if it hits you, that's worse than a brick because it's got force. It's the perfect size. It's like made perfect. And when they get caught, they say, no, this is just soup from my family. And then the media says, this is just soup. These people are very, very innocent. They're innocent people.
It is time for us to do what we have been doing, and that time is every day. Every day it is time for us to agree.
But the real problem is that our leaders are dumb. Dumb. So dumb.
Let's go, Brandon, I agree.
Across this country, we've seen this new phenomenon lately, chanted at sporting events and on signs. The phrase is, let's go Brandon.
Let's go Brandon, I agree.
There was no response. There was no response. They didn't have one for that.
but section lawsuit against all machines.
And where it should have stopped is at the deal standpoint when they thought about it.
Early in the morning, they went to the table with the black robe, the black shield, and they pulled out the votes. Those votes.
Everybody comes in your grandmother year. Everybody comes in your grandmother year.
It was an amazing phone call I made. 40 Wall Street actually was the second tallest building in downtown Manhattan, and it was actually, before the World Trade Center, was the tallest. And then when they built the World Trade Center, it became known as the second tallest, and now it's the tallest.
And then they have cans of soup. And they throw the cans of soup. That's better than a brick because you can't throw a brick, it's too heavy. But a can of soup, you can really put some power into that, right? And then when they get caught, they say, no, this is soup from my family. They're so innocent. This is soup from my family. It's incredible. And you have people coming over with bags of soup, big bags of soup, and they lay it on the ground, and the anarchists take it and they start throwing it at our cops, at our police. And if it hits you, that's worse than a brick because it's got force. It's a perfect size. It's made perfect. And when they get caught, they say, no, this is just soup from my family. And then the media says, this is just soup. These people are very, very innocent. They're innocent people.
Testing, 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 testing. I think, if I'm correct, and I'm usually correct, let's be honest, but I think that there's a show going on. Hello, users. Welcome to the program. Programmatic experience here today, and so we got a show going on. I made a decision this morning when I woke up. I made a decision, and I want to share that decision with everyone in the chat. I woke up and I decided I was going to do a show, so here I am doing it now. And here we are once again. We have all congregated. People have congregated. It's like, it's like the Muslims going to the Rock or whatever, Like everyone all across the world at this moment, they're all looking at me for some reason, like how they pray at the Rock or whatever. That's what's going on here. And it's happening. So it's happening. And so I decided to do a show. I decided to wake up and do a program. So, I got my various liquids. I got my coffee inside of an elephant. I've got my Polar brand seltzer, and that's it. I've got some saliva in my mouth. Is saliva a liquid? Like, what is the state of matter? Is saliva like a plasma, maybe? I don't know. Saliva is something strange, though, let me tell you. Anyway, so we got a show going on. I've got a show. So I've actually, I want to share with everybody. I want to share with everyone the show that I'm doing. I'm actually, hold up. I've got like an eyeball thing. All right, so doing a program. I've got a program here. I don't even know where to begin, y'all. I don't even know where the frick to begin. Where the frick to begin. There's multiple syllables that I forgot about. I took like one hit of this bullshit and I am losing it. I took one hit before the show starts, like as I'm switching to the camera screen, and I am losing it. I'm alive though. Once again, I am here. So we got a show. Okay. So I got a program lined up here. I've got I got a little nostril thing going on. Anyway, let's look at the goddamn 40F. Whoa. That's a lot of fucking numbers. Alrighty. There's a goddamn inflation report coming out. Goddamn inflation. Goddamn fucking inflation. Speaking of inflation, so here we have New Jerseyans don't want to pump their own gasoline, poll shows. So for those of you that don't know, New Jersey, the state of which I was created in, is one of two, I believe, states in the Union that have it's actually mandatory. It is illegal to pump your own gas in the state of New Jersey. I forget what the other one is. And so it's illegal. You have to sit in the car and wait for someone to like walk up to you and then like go like, hey, you want some gas or something? And then you gotta go like, yeah, it's awkward, it's strange, nobody likes it except for apparently 73% of the state. They want to keep the system. Let's read. By a margin of 73 to 22, New Jerseyans oppose a proposal to permit self-serve gas stations, according to an Eagleton-Rutgers poll released on Thursday morning that asked one question: do you prefer to pump your own gas or have your gas pumped for you? All right. There is apparently one thing all New Jerseyans can agree on nowadays, and that's the time-honored Jersey tradition of having your gas pumped for you, said Ashley Koning, an assistant research professor and director of the Eagleton Center for Public Interest Polling at Rutgers University. The poll comes amid renewed debate over New Jersey's 73-year-old tradition of full-service gas stations. A bipartisan group of lawmakers have introduced the Motorist Fueling Choice and Convenience Act. I love how they're bringing choice in. Like, yeah, I'm pro-choice. Like, imagine, right, in Missouri, in Texas, in Alabama, like, you're pro-choice. That means something else, right? But in New Jersey, right, there's another faction of pro-choice people. It's like, yeah, I'm pro-choice. Whoa, you want to abort living babies? No. I just want to pump my own gas. I'm pro-choice. Of course, support for pumping your own gas is Stringer. All right, I guess it's Stringer. Among Republicans and Democrats or independents, although he plan is upside down among every category of New Jersey. This is a well-researched, well-written article from NewJerseyGlobe.com. Republicans oppose self-service gas by 64 to 34 margin, while Democrats oppose by 82 to 14, and independents by 70 to 24. Among men, 37% would prefer to pump their own gas and 55% oppose it. Among women, it's 87% to 11. That's actually interesting. That's super interesting. But anyway, so that's the poll. Just sharing that with you. Looks like things are staying in the status quo. This is the real status quo. The people are always talking about the goddamn status quo. This is the real status quo. Anyway, pro-choice. I am pro-choice. Does "Let's Go Brandon" mean anything? It means fuck Joe Biden, but Republicans say that because they don't like saying the F word. So they like to have like their own like code speak. And Joe Biden was on a phone call with like a random person, and they said "Let's go Brandon," but he didn't know what it meant, and so he was playing along because he doesn't care, and it's the ultimate gangster move. Goddamn. I love this. Hold up.
Let's go, Brandon. I agree.
Oh, let's go, Brandon. I agree. Ah! It's so good. I was cringing out at the "Let's Go Brandon" stuff until that moment. That's what made me. I love "Let's Go Brandon." Now that Joe Biden has gotten in on it, oh, it's so good.
Let's go, Brandon. I agree.
Let's go, Brandon. I agree. Motherfucker. It's such amazing content. It really. I got one more time.
Let's go, Brandon. I agree.
I love that, like, little known detail of that audio is that, like, Jill Biden is, like, chuckling in the background. Let's go, Biden. I agree. Let's go, Brandon, even. All right, so doing a show here today. Wow, there's like a whole. I got like a whole show that I'm doing. Damn, like people watch this apparently. Folks, you gotta retweet the goddamn. Retweet the goddamn. What type of show are you doing? Now that is a good question. That is both a real question, a good question, both, and a real good question. Let's go, Bodan. I agree. Let's go, Bodan. I agree. So we have some update. We have an update here, an updated piece of information in an ongoing saga. So in the great state, the wonderful state of Texas, the Republican psychopath Attorney General Ken Paxton, who recently released this suggestion to the governor to basically declare all trans-related healthcare for anyone under the age of 18 to be child abuse. Now, again, you're allowed, the bill, or like, it's not a bill, it's an interpretation of an already existing bill or law. But it says that it bans otherwise healthy body parts from being removed. So the bill, or the interpretation, bans circumcision, right? It bans circumcision. But are they sending in child protective services against parents who have their kids circumcised? I don't think so, right? So we live in this very strange world where people think it's like just okay to send like Gestapo neo-Nazi forces to like, have people check in on kids and have their kids taken away because they happen to be trans. Again, it's a tactic that is trying to endorse and enable genocide in this country. So that happened, and then Joe Biden's administration was like, hey, cut it out. They didn't really do anything. They mentioned it. They released a statement that said, yeah, don't do that. So, now Ken Paxton responds here, with this nonsense. So he is apparently suing the Biden administration. And this is just a way to get this to the Supreme Court. That's all this is. This is just this is just a way to try to get this through the court system, and then a judge is going to have to rule on whether or not like it's child abuse to let your kid go to the doctor. That's the world we live in. Is taking your child to the doctor abusive? This is the same group of people that doesn't wash their hands. Same group of people that won't take a vaccine for a pandemic and deadly virus. Now they want to make it abuse to take your child to the doctor. It's incredible. Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton filed an amended lawsuit against the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services regarding new guidance that empowers the federal government to withhold federal funding from state entities that do not adhere to their misinterpretation of the Affordable Care Act, the Rehabilitation Act, the Americans with Disabilities Act. Specifically, the guidance states that doctors, medical providers, or other related medical staff who report, quote, sex change procedures and the administration of puberty blockers to minors as child abuse may violate federal law, even though state law says that such procedures can in fact constitute child abuse. So again, just a bunch of stupid garbage. The recent guidance comes in addition to Biden's June 15, 21 guidance that also attacked employers, forcing them to allow exceptions from the generally applicable workplace policies on usage of bathrooms, locker rooms, and showers, collectively bathrooms, dress codes, and pronoun usage based on the subject. So now Ken Paxton is trying to broaden this to make using a bathroom illegal in Texas. Using a locker room or a shower is illegal. Like mandatory dress codes. like again, this is the freedom, guys. Like, you have to wear certain clothes and go to certain bathrooms and have certain pronouns, or else we're going to send you to jail. If you send your kid to the doctor, you're going to go to jail. That's the freedom crew. So anyway, he is trying to get this is all building his profile, building a precedent here. And the only people suffering as a result are trans people and the parents of trans people. And, we're just pawns in, like, a bunch of people's power plays to try to, the fascists want to take over the country, and they're just going to, do the whole fascist thing, and then you have, like, liberals that don't even really care. Like, Joe Biden is just like, yeah, you probably shouldn't do that. Cut it out! Like, Hillary Clinton style. So no one really cares. It's just like, trans people are just, like, chess pieces. And it's embarrassing and it's sad, but, this is the state of the world that we live in. Environmental Coffee House, I think you're here because of my amazing and charming personality. Woo! Huh? Not bad. Wait. My amazing and charming personality. Oh, wait. One more time. Yeah! Huh? It's because I am so funny. Woo! Yeah! Huh? There you go. All right, so we got doing a show here. Got a show going on. At least I think I'm doing a show. Am I still doing a show? Wait, yes, I'm doing a show. All right. You do have a unique style, huh? I got a unique style. Yeah. Certainly not here for the production quality. What the fuck? What the fuck? Bitcoin Cash is where it's at, y'all. It's popping. Are you still accumulating? It is Bitcoin Cash at. Gotta consume all the Bitcoin Cashes. What number crypto even is Bitcoin? It's 28! I remember when this shit was like the 5th most popular. Now no one gives a shit about it. Damn. Shit sucks. We're all here for the long pauses between segments where we hear the mouse wheel scrolling. I need you. Nope. Nope, that's not happening. I can't. I'm gonna have to kindly request that you don't. That you don't. I'm gonna request that you just don't do that. Folks, half of adults in the United States are fucking stupid. So, half of the US adult population may have a lower IQ from harmful levels of lead exposure in childhood, study finds. This explains a lot. Now, again, look at the world that we live in. Look at the world that we live in. Look at our leaders, right? Let's look at our leaders. Hold up.
But the real problem is that our leaders are dumb.
Yeah, right?
Dumb. So dumb.
So, look at our leaders. Okay, look at our elders. Look at, like, boomers, right? Like, look at like, you know, Gen X, right? Like, look at these fucking morons. Look at these loser nerds. They're all useless. They're all useless garbage, and they're stupid. And why is that? Well, they were never given a chance. Can you really blame them? They were never given a chance because they had lead poisoning as kids, and so that just made them stupid. They have a lower IQ from harmful levels of lead exposure. I mean, again, this explains so much in how our society is constituted and the people that run our society. This explains almost every aspect of it. This is like this is one of those bombshell reports. Like, think about this. Half of adults got literal lead poisoning and brain poisoning, and their entire lives they've had to live as a dumb motherfucker as a result. That's crazy! That's crazy! I mean, again, that's like 50% is a huge number. Can we really have this That is a huge fucking number.
Only the really, I hate to say this, but those with the lowest IQ.
Again, I really... half of adults in the United States had lead poisoning as a kid. I really, before we even get into this article, I just can't wrap my mind around this. Half of it, like, there is a 50%, I mean, that explains the Republican Party. That explains the goddamn Republican Party, right? Like, what the fuck you think? Oh, yeah, why is it that there's like 20 to 30% of the country that's just out and about fascist morons, right? And they don't believe in, like, fucking climate change or fucking, like, biology. They don't believe in medicine. They don't believe in fucking, right? They're just fucking, half of them think the earth is flat. They believe JFK Jr. is going to get resurrected. Oh, well, they all have lead poisoning, right? That explains a lot. That really explains a fucking lot. Okay, so exposure to leaded gasoline decades ago may have lowered the IQ of U.S. adults, new research says. More than 170 million Americans alive today may have been exposed to dangerous levels of lead as children, potentially causing brain development issues. I can't. 170 million dumb motherfuckers just walking around. They're just like, they're driving cars, right? Like, one mistake and, like, that's people dead. They're driving metal death machines at like 70 miles an hour. Right? They're teaching your kids, right? They're like they're operating the machines, the construction machines and the fucking nuclear machines, and they're 170 million lead poisoned dumbos. Now, again, I'm not trying to be, I know I'm being really fucked up. I'm being really rude. Holy shit. I'm being so mean to like half of the fucking, I shouldn't be like that. I'm sorry. But like, also, like, this is not their fault. This is not anyone's fault but the capitalist class. That's what we need to understand here. Is like, think about it from this perspective, right? The capitalists want you to be poisoned. They don't give a fuck. They don't give a fuck. Right? They want you to have brain fog. They want you to have a lower IQ. They want you to not be able to think as clearly. They want you to get lead poisoning. Why do you think they didn't fix this shit for such a long period of time? Everyone, when lead was added to gasoline, everyone knew it was a bad deal. We already knew that. The science was out. But yet, people just did that anyway to save money. And they're like, fuck it. Whatever. Whatever. Like, what? Like, think about what's in the food you eat. Think about what's in the water you drink. Sometimes there's lead in the water, right? But think about this, right? They want you to be a dumb motherfucker. They don't care if 170 million American adults have a, like, permanent brain damage from children throughout their whole lives, and they didn't even know. They didn't even know. And there's really no way to know because half of adults, like, it was like a 50% chance that you're going to be one of those people. So that's just normal, right? It's just normal. Like, everyone has got brain damage. So there's, you know, like, it's all relative, right? Like, so they, like, I mean, again, like, your health means nothing to the government. Your health means nothing to the capitalist class. They don't give a fuck. They don't give a fuck. Think about the other chemicals going on. Like, you know, like the fucking, like, PFAS outbreaks going on in every river in the fucking country, right? And all this fucking stupid shit. They don't give a shit. The microplastics. You know about microplastics, motherfucker? That shit's gonna fuck you up. In fact, it's already fucked us all up because we're fucked, okay? So they don't give a shit about us. But, like, look at the COVID thing. It was found out that COVID does significant deleterious brain damage. If you get COVID, you will have fucking brain damage for the rest of your life. And what's the population that got COVID? Around 40-something%. Imagine you had lead poisoning as a kid and then you got COVID. You're double fucked. You got the dumb juice coming at your... Yeah, I'm sorry, but like... And no, there's no resources for you. No one cares, right? No one gives a fuck. The capitalists already made their money off of you. You're an expendable resource to them. You're a fucking write-off. That's how our system of government works. No one cares a fuck about you. At all, and they won't. You think, oh, the lead in the... Oh, that was a long time ago, right? That we fixed our mistakes, right? About 40-something% of the population, I think, last time I checked, has had COVID, right? One of the symptoms of long COVID and just having COVID is deleterious brain damage. You get fucking brain damage. That's right now. We're going... Like, this isn't, oh, yeah, the lead in the gasoline. That was like 40 years ago. That's way in the past. This is right now we're experiencing a similar situation. But anyway, I'm sorry. Let's keep going. Let's get back in here. 50% of Americans who were adults as of 2015 had likely been exposed to levels of lead high enough to impair cognitive function. The estimated result, researchers calculated, may be a reduction of the adult population IQ by an average of 2.6 points per person as of 2015. That's a pretty, you know... The results were shocking, according to the researchers, and could have ongoing consequences for public health. Millions of us are walking around with a history of lead exposure. They're walking around just dumb. It appears to be an insult carried in the body in different ways that we're still trying to understand, but that can have implications for life. Again, they don't care. They don't care about people having brain damage because that benefits them. The less people are able to have higher cognitive function. They don't want a smart, intelligent population. If they did, they would not make school so impossible to afford. They wouldn't make, like, school in general, like, just, like, fucking teaching you, like, a falsified version of history and, like, some basic math skills and how to read and write a little bit, but not too good, right? Like, they don't want you to be a smart person. They're just going to poison you at every fucking amount that they can, and any way that they can. Even small amounts of lead can cause brain damage and developmental issues. High levels of lead can cause neurotoxicity, which can cause a wide range of neurological symptoms, and exposure can build up over time. In some cases, lead poisoning can be fatal. Exposure over time can be especially risky for children, causing learning disabilities, mood regulation problems, hearing loss, or seizures, according to the Mayo Clinic. Why do you think cancer is so prominent in our society? It's because we're having all these chemicals that fucking cause our body to break down. So sad. Leaded gasoline, popular in the late 1960s, was a common source of lead exposure through the 1980s. Researchers found in the current paper though the EPA began efforts to phase it out in 1973. In the same period, levels of lead in the blood were 3 to 5 times the safe limit recommended by the CDC at that time. People currently in their late 40s to mid 50s may have experienced the worst cognitive damage. That's crazy from lead exposure, estimated at between 5.7 to 5.9 lost IQ points. That's crazy. That's crazy. That is crazy. I can't. And no one knew that until recently. Really, people knew it was bad for you, but now we know. Yeah, 6-point IQ loss. That's nuts. Previous research found children today may still face high levels of lead exposure. While leaded gasoline was banned in 1996, lead exposure continues to be an issue and disproportionately affects people in poorer communities with aging infrastructure. Again, with water. A 2021 study found that risky levels of lead exposure were found in just over 50% of younger children than 5 years old tested between 2018 and 2020. That's fucked up! That's fucked up. And this is just new ways to poison you every decade, every era, every generation. They're going to poison you in a different way. They being the corporate class, the motherfucking capitalist fat cat motherfuckers. And then no one gives a fuck. No one gives a shit. Yep. Yep. 50% of adults have brain damage from lead. Something about COVID, 40% have COVID, which causes brain damage, right? Half of children under the age of 7 right now, because that study was 2020. So half of children under the age of 7 have lead damage from water, right? So not from the gasoline this time, but it's in the water now. Not so good. Not so good. Doing a show today, folks.
No good, really bad for you.
Doing a show. Got a show going on. Yeah! Woo! Yes, Environmental Coffee House. Try to get me a time. Give me a time and date, list. Send them to me, and I'll put it on my calendar. I'm really bad at planning things. I'm just really bad. I'm bad at everything. I'm a mess. I'm a goddamn mess. An invigorated young brain. Yes, that's right. I have a young brain. That is to say, one that has not been damaged with lead. Now, think about it this way, though. I'm in the golden zone, right? So, the lowest level of lead exposure from gasoline, but the infrastructure was not completely rusty and poisoned, right? So, I'm at that good level where I've got like the minimum amount of lead, right? Like, because the lead exposure is going up again because of the water pipes and aging infrastructure. So think about it this way. I'm like the smartest motherfucker in the world. That's right. Older motherfuckers, dumb. Younger motherfuckers, dumb. I don't know what to tell you. You gotta listen to me. I know what's going on. I'm capable of telling it how it is. I'm just saying. I'm throwing that out there. People can think about that. I recommend lion's mane mushrooms. I've done some research into them, though I haven't tried them myself, but I plan on that at some point. All right, folks. This is one of my big ones. This is a big one for me. This is a big deal. Okay, so check this out. Darkness kills. Advocates for permanent daylight saving time tell Congress. This is going to be the big generational shift. We're going to be entering a new normal soon. When daylight savings time is abolished, then that's the real end of history. So let's read. Days before most Americans reset their clocks, a congressional committee is mulling changes to daylight saving time. The House Energy Subcommittee on Consumer Protection heard testimony Wednesday from health experts, some of whom urged Congress to pass a new law keeping daylight saving time in effect permanently. The biannual shifting of clocks was initially implemented in the U.S. to preserve energy and resources during the early 20th century, requiring most Americans to set clocks 1 hour ahead of standard time between early spring and late autumn. In 2007, Congress expanded daylight saving time another 4 weeks each year. But the daylight savings system is unpopular with many Americans and has inspired a series of new state and federal legislative proposals to change or eliminate the program. Let's go! Let's get rid of this shit. Nobody likes this. Fuck this. What if this year, every year I say this, but this might be the year. What if this year is the last year we ever fuck with the clock? Like we just get rid of it. Like we do it one more time and then we switch or whatever and then we're done. Let's make it this year. Let's do it. This is like people talk about like left wing and right wing, agreeing on issues. Here's one. Daylight goddamn motherfucking saving time. This is a real populist issue. Daylight savings time has benefits and costs. I'm skeptical. The growing public interest in this topic and action on this is a quote, by the way, on the state level brings us here today. Subcommittee Chairwoman Rep. Jan Schakowsky, Democrat of Illinois, said, "Some argue when we spring forward and lose an hour of sunlight in the morning, this impacts our health." Yes, school children commuting to school and even traffic safety. Yes, there's increased amounts of traffic accidents when the clocks change. That's just like documented. Some versions of the new legislation would require daylight savings to be kept in effect year-round. Okay. As long as you don't have to change the clock, that's my thing. Others would give states more latitude to opt out of the system. Okay, yeah. I mean, I would do it. I would just abolish it in all 50 states. That's my goal. But University of Washington professor Steve P. Calandrillo testified that Americans experience fewer safety risks when sunset is pushed later into the afternoon or evening. Simply put, darkness kills, and darkness in the evening is far deadlier than darkness in the morning. Calandrillo told the committee, the evening rush hour is twice as fatal as the morning for various reasons. Far more people on the road, more alcohol is in the driver's bloodstream. Oh my goodness, that's true. People are hurrying to get home and more children are enjoying outdoor unsupervised play. So, in my opinion, I'm going to be honest. I can sway either way on what time we're stuck at. That is less of a concern to me than the switching of time. So I'm willing to say that we should, I don't know which one's which. I can't figure it out, but I'm willing to tell you, I don't care as long as you don't have to to change them. That's the big thing. But anyway, we'll see how this goes. Call your motherfucking congressperson. Like, call them, like, today. Like, do this right now. Call your goddamn. Say, hey, daylight saving time. Abolish it. I never want to change my clock again. I don't care which one you choose, but as long as I never have to change my clock again, support that legislation. Come on, let's do it. This is the real populism. Let's go. I'm in. I'm ready. Yeah, I really got to try the lion's mane. They look super cool, like just visually. All right, y'all. So there's an outbreak in this country of smug, woke liberals. That's right, we're talking about AOC. AOC, hashtag, walks away, hashtag, when asked about her message to Americans facing pain at the pump. She walked away. Typical champagne socialist liberal Democrat walked away when harassed by some random reporter about something that she's already talked about at length and doesn't need to say again for the 15th time. How dare she? Hashtag walk away. So here we have this video here. She walks away.
Do you think the U.S. should increase oil production, Congresswoman? Congresswoman, what do you have to say to the people paying the price at the gas pump? Congresswoman, you have nothing to say? Nothing to say, Congresswoman?
Oh my God. Again. Whoa, what the hell? Okay. So, real quick. Okay, for real. Okay. Those two questions are really bizarre to put together. So one, why would we need to increase oil production? Why we could increase green energy. That's what AOC has been talking about extensively. Increasing green and renewable energy production to compensate. Okay? So, I don't know. We could just replace all oil and then people wouldn't need gas. The gas price could be $78 a gallon. And if no one had any gas-powered devices, it wouldn't matter. Right? So that would be the ideal scenario to just get off of oil. But, again, Fox News not so bright. AOC refused to respond when asked what she would say to Americans who are facing record prices at the gas pump in a video obtained by Fox News. I love this. Okay. The video was obtained. Like, it was, like, sent in, like, an envelope, dropped, like, through, like, the bottom part of someone's front door. And then, like, it was obtained by Fox. Like, what is this language? What are they doing? Okay, in a video obtained by Fox News, the second-term Congresswoman walked away when asked if she supported expanding U.S. energy production to help alleviate record-high gas prices. In the video, Ocasio-Cortez ignored questions requesting her perspective on President Biden's sanctions against Russia, his administration's ban on Russian oil, as well as the high cost of gasoline. Ocasio-Cortez continued on to her dinner at Bull Feathers, a restaurant just across the street from the U.S. Capitol building, with her colleague, Mondaire Jones. And then there's like a creep shot. There's like a creep shot. Yo, I'm dead. This is Fox. This is not like This is not like, I don't know, like Michael Tracy's blog or something. This is foxnews.com. This is foxnews.com. So, okay, so there's a video of, there's a video of AOC not responding to the same question that she already responded to 7,000 times in the past. And then that video was obtained. Somehow the video was obtained by Fox News. We don't know how. It was a secret transfer of some kind. The video was obtained, right? And then we have this photo of just AOC eating. Like, I mean, imagine being AOC, right? And you're just like, you have to deal with people taking photos of you every time you leave the house. Like, oh, I would kill myself if people did that. Like, if I went outside and every single person that saw me was taking photos of me, like, creepily, well, I would literally jump off a cliff. But again, so she's literally just trying to eat goddamn food. And there's people taking creep shots at her. Used with permission. Okay. I don't even know what that means, used with permission. But on Wednesday, the average price for a gallon of gasoline hit a record high, blah, blah, blah. Fox News' Hillary Vaughn spoke to Ocasio-Cortez on Tuesday about the Biden administration's ban on Russian oil. When asked if the U.S. should buy oil from Iran and Venezuela, Ocasio-Cortez said none of these options are good ones. So let's play this clip.
From Iran and Venezuela, do you have concern about that?
Well, I mean, I think this is the deal with fossil fuels in general, is that it's not an accident that oil-rich states tend to be petro-authoritarian states. And so none of these options are good ones because of our dependency on oil. And so while I understand there are short-term, supply issues that need to be addressed, it's very alarming that many of the people pushing to increase and skyrocket either imports or production, domestic production in the short term, are not talking about what we really need to be doing in terms of rapid investments in solar and wind.
Okay, thank you.
So now just note, by the way, like even in this Fox News article, that's what's so strange about this. Okay? Is that the article is that she hashtag walks away from someone asking about oil. And then later in the article, they show her in-depth and well-articulated answer to that question 2 days ago. Like, she already answered the question. So, like, why would this article show you that she already answered this question 2 days ago, but then say that she hashtag walked away when she was trying to, like, have, like, a private, restaurant visit or whatever? It's just, I'm so confused by this. This is so baffling, but obviously she's right. I mean, we shouldn't be dependent on oil at this point in our lives, but Lord have mercy. I don't know what to tell you. Hell yeah, Environmental Coffee House. I believe in you. Folks, look at this shit. Look at this shit. This is crazy. Yo, this is crazy. Look at these goofballs. Look at these goofballs here. Look at these goddamn goofballs. You seeing this shit? Like, this is what I have to deal with. Are goofballs posting, and I have to see this. It's in my mentions. I have to see this. I can't use Twitter without seeing this. It's incredible. 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 That could be you. You could be complimenting me on twitter.com, and that could be you going on the screen. So, incredible. Incredible. Okay. So much to do. So much to say. So we got situation brewing, continuing to brew in the war, Russians' invasion of Ukraine, not going so well for Russia at this point, but also, you know, for civilians involved. This is like the 15th time, I think, that this has happened. I don't know, it's at least like the 4th time. But Russia condemned over deadly Mariupol Children's Hospital bombing as WHO highlights pattern of strikes on medical facilities. So this is what's happening is they have these Russian-occupied Ukrainian cities, and they keep saying, all right, we're going to let some civilians out. Okay. And then, like, you know, people, okay, the civilians are going to go, and then they just bomb the shit out of people. And like, it's just, I don't, it's baffling to me. An injured woman, heavily pregnant, is carried on a stretcher past the smoldering wreckage of Mariupol's maternity and children's hospital. Her face is pale. One hand cradles her belly in a protective gesture. Every window on the side of the building appears to be blown out. Wreckage litters the ground around it. The Syria image was taken following what Mariupol city's city officials said was a Russian airstrike on the hospital Wednesday that injured 17 people, including children, women, and doctors. 3 died, among them 1 child, a girl. Not good. The city in southeastern Ukraine has been besieged by Russian forces for days. Its trapped residents forced to shelter underground, melt snow for water, and scavenge for food. Now even a hospital caring for pregnant women, newborns, and children is not safe. Now keep in mind, these people are literally just trying to live. Like, they, like, you know, for whatever reason weren't able to evacuate or didn't have the resources to do so, or what, you know, and they're just trying to, like, just stay safe and live. Some of them have been in the hospital since before this invasion even begun, right? So it's like, you know, like, this is, it's incredible. And Russia is, like, saying, all right, we're gonna let them out, and then they're just not, they're just, I can't even. And Mariupol's hospital wasn't the only children's medical facility that authorities said was damaged by Russian forces on Wednesday. 2 hospitals in Zhytomyr, west of the capital, Kyiv, had their windows blown out on a Russian airstrike on a thermal power plant and civilian building in the city, the mayor said. One of them was a children's hospital. There was no casualties, and everyone was in a bomb shelter, according to the city's mayor. So again, you know, people are condemning this, which is good. You can read more on this. But it's just, you know, I get the gist of these details. Russia, their military they're committing a bunch of fucking war crimes, and it's horrible. And to me, like, the concept of a war crime is like, oh yeah, you can legally go to war. What? Like, so killing enemy soldiers that were drafted is not a crime, right? Like, so the idea of, like, there's war, and then there's war crime. To me, it's all a crime, right? But, you know, but they're just, why would you, like, so, you know, Russia keeps claiming that they're going in there to keep the peace and to denazify the region, and not going so good on the denazification plan. They might need to come up with another excuse, but Jesus, it's no good, folks. I'm only here for the intermittent bursts of shrieking pterodactyl sound effects. That's a great comment. So, a lot of people have takes on Putin's illegal invasion of Ukraine. Some of the best takes so far have been from the former guy, Orange J Man. Not looking as orange as he usually does, but, you know, he's looking relatively orange nonetheless. So, he's on a podcast with some guy. Let's watch.
It would have never happened. And we did talk about it. I mean, he definitely wanted Ukraine, loved Ukraine, would never have happened.
What do you see happening next then? Because it seems like the tensions are high. How does this all end? Is this going to be like a long-term thing?
So, okay. So the question is, all right, so it wouldn't have happened. You're great. You're amazing. God bless your soul, Donald Trump. Okay. Reminder, Donald Trump lost the 2020 election. Joe Biden won the 2020 election. Joe Biden is currently the president. So, okay, so Donald Trump, but he's great, but, so it would have been great. But now, it already did happen. Joe Biden is the president, right? So, what do you think's going to happen? How is this story going to end?
How do you see it unfolding?
Well, and I said this a long time ago, if this happens, we are playing right into their hands, green energy. The windmills, they don't work. They're too expensive. They kill all the birds. They ruin your landscapes. And yet the environmentalists love...
Look, this guy's giddy. He's like, oh, look, he's doing the thing. Look at this guy. Yo, look at this guy. Not this guy, but the next guy. Hold up.
Birds, they ruin your landscapes. And yet the environment...
Look, he's like, oh, my God. Okay, so keep in mind the question. How is the war in Ukraine going to end? So, and then he just starts babbling about windmills. And then this guy, God bless his soul, he's like, oh, this is gold. He's like, oh, shit, he's talking about the windmills again. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Oh.
But the real problem is that our leaders are dumb. Dumb. So dumb.
Environmentalists love the windmills. And I've been preaching this for years. The windmills, and I had them way down. But the windmills are the most expensive energy you can have. And they don't work. And by the way, they last a period of 10 years. And by the time they start rusting and rotting all over the place, nobody ever takes them down. They just go onto the next piece of prairie or land and destroy that. It's incredible that they want, but other forms of green energy, they don't have, it would have never happened. And we.
So, again. So, what's going to happen with the invasion and war in Ukraine? Windmills. Windmills. Oh. That's funny. That's funny. I haven't been replying to messages because I'm lazy and stupid. I'm sorry, I'll get to them. At Falcon. Max the dog is like woofing it up right now. Maxie, come here. Hold up. Max! I'm gonna get him over here. Max! Max! Maxie! Look at this dog. Can you see him? Oh. Woo! Look at this dog. Look, it's Max. He doesn't come on the show as much anymore because of the current situation, but it's all temporary. Look at this Max. Ah. 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 He wants this fucking corn. This is mine. This is mine. This isn't yours. I bought it. This is mine. This is mine. Look at this. I want it. This is not. No. No. He's like, y'all, the way he's like backing up under the table, and he's stepping on a pillow right now. And like the pillow is like sliding. This is mine, Max. Look at this dog. Okay. I give up. You're looking respectfully. Whoa. Thank you. All right, so doing a show here today. Doing a show today. Got a show going on. Got multiple layers on. So I got this, and then I got this. So multiple layers. And then this has a hood on it, so I can do this. Look at that. Yeah, see? Now this is, I should do the rest of the show like this. Wouldn't this be like a thing? Would this be good? Is this like a, should I do this? Is this like a character? Could I do like a character that does this? I got like a hair stuck. But anyway, got a show. Doing a program today. All right. So, okay. Let me check for updates on this, because this is funny. Okay. So there's a hot new update on the People's Party shenanigans, folks. That's right. A new scoop on status coup just dropped. More like scoop. Status scoop. I don't know. But they got a scoop. So the People's Party, now let's recap here. So the People's Party, they did a couple podcasts, do some fundraising. They spent $20,000 on a logo that didn't even materialize, so they just wasted $20,000. Whoops. And recently it came out that Nick Brana, the chair, like the guy in charge of the People's Party, was had allegations of sexual harassment. Basically, he got into a relationship. That relationship ended, and he wouldn't leave the other person alone. Allegedly, right? So, here we have a new update where apparently now lawyers have become, they're involved. So lawyers are involved in this whole deal. And again, this is, I just want to go. Let's assume Nick Brana is completely innocent. Let's assume he is entirely innocent. He didn't do anything wrong. He's a great guy. Lovely guy. He's so cool, right? This is not something a totally innocent guy, right, does. I'm just saying, right, like, watch his, like, interview on the status coup, right? That's not something an innocent guy does, right? Like, okay. So status coup posted a pretty good thread here. News. MPP has told members that an outside lawyer named Chris Kruger is doing a comprehensive review of sexual harassment allegations against Nick Brana. SC obtained a Feb email where Kruger tells Brana's accuser she might face legal action if she doesn't respond to him that night. Okay, so this is what's crazy. This isn't a thing. There is not like, oh, respond to me immediately or you go to jail. Like, that's not a thing. Please be advised that I have been retained by the People's Party Board to represent the organization concerning the recent controversies which have arisen with the board and Mr. Nick Brana. We are interested in discussing possible resolution of these matters without having to resort to court action or other legal remedies. Please contact me or have your legal representative contact me to further discuss. In light of the circumstances, I need to hear from you this evening to avoid further damage to my client and potentially ensuing litigation. I need to hear from you this evening. Like, what if I'm taking a nap? What if I already... Wait, when was this sent? 6:10 p.m. I'm in bed by 6 o'clock. I'm old, right? Like, I don't know. I had too many glasses of wine. I'm in bed. It's 6 o'clock. You're going to sue me because I was sleeping early? What if I, like, work in the morning? Like, what if I work at 2 a.m. or something? This is my time to sleep. I'm not... What do you mean I need to respond to you? That's ridiculous. So, now again... this is apparently the day of the like the story breaking or something. And so this woman, you know, is under enough stress as it is, right? And then like it goes public in some capacity, and now once again, I believe this woman is still anonymous at this point, but now again with legal action, it's just, you know, it's crazy. The Feb 22 email from Kruger to Brana's accuser suggesting legal action was on the same day Status Quo broke the story that Brana was under internal MPP investigation for alleged sexual harassment, and that multiple sources said the woman will be going public. Chris Kruger has been an MPP volunteer since 2019. So again, he's billed as an outside lawyer, but no, he's just doing this like pro bono voluntarily to help his like stupid ass party that he's obsessed with. And his 222 email to Brana's accuser, he has been retained by the People's Party board to represent an organization and told her we're interested in discussing possible resolution. Kruger told the accuser she needed to respond that night to avoid further damage to my client in ensuing litigation. He said his client was MPP's board, yet the accuser was not accusing the board of sexual harassment. Right, again, so it's just, it gets even better. An internal MPP Slack message about Kruger being an outside lawyer doing a comprehensive review, it not disclosed that he was directly reaching out to Brana's accuser on the same day Status Quo story broke the allegations, suggesting potential legal action. So we, you know, blah blah blah. We have a lot to discuss after the events of the past few weeks. It is important that all of us on the board, that an outside lawyer conduct a comprehensive review of the events and evidence surrounding the efforts to take the party in a different direction. The claims of sexual harassment rather. An investigation. The lawyer Chris Kruger with Kruger and Gruber this sounds like this is like a sitcom title. The lawyer Chris Kruger with Kruger and Gruber. Like, I mean, I'm sorry, they all rhyme. The lawyer Kruger and Gruber. I'm sorry, this is a cartoon show. This is a cartoon show. I can't. The lawyer Chris Kruger with Kruger and Gruber. I'm done. I can't. Okay. Has informed us that he will be finished tomorrow and can join the call. So again, an outside lawyer. The outside lawyer, Chris Kruger with Kruger and Gruber. I'm sorry, I can't. As volunteers, it's also important that all of us... Okay, so they bill him as an outside lawyer. But he's not. Kruger is actually an Illinois-based MPP volunteer and organizer. Here he is speaking at October 2019 MPP event. I'm with the Movement for Our People's Party.
Of the left. My name's Chris Kruger. I'm an attorney. Prior to being an attorney.
So yeah, here he is. 3 days after Mr. Chris Kruger with Kruger and Gruber. I can't with this shit, man. I can't with this shit. Okay. Emailed Brana's accuser to discuss possible remedies and suggested potential legal action if she didn't respond that night. He shared on his Facebook Brana's statement denying allegations and claiming they were part of a liberal takeover attempt. So, I mean, like, this is like when you got the Kyle Rittenhouse lawyers talking about how the Kenosha Kid is like the new 1776 or, you know, like they were like that. Like, you're not, like, you are getting so politically involved in a case that you're supposed to be like, you know, an impartial, like, you know, lawyer on. Like, it's just like, it's such a conflict of interest, right? This is like it reminds me of that. Kruger told Status Quo that his email to Brana's accuser on 2/22, hours after SC broke the story on allegations against Brana, was, quote, an offer to compromise a dispute and not a threat. Kruger, when, this is Chris Kruger again with Kruger and Gruber, when two persons or entities have controversies or disputes that could potentially result in litigation, it is not uncommon for one to contact the other through counsel to attempt to resolve the conflict or controversy. In fact, it is the way 99% of disputes are resolved. SC asked Kruger if he doesn't consider it a threat to reach out to Brana's accuser on the same day SC broke the story on allegations and provide her a short clock to respond or face potential ensuing litigation. What would he classify that as? He responded that he was currently on vacation and will stand on my earlier comments for the time being. Kruger told SC he is not representing Nick or Rod, that's Nick's father, Brana, and is representing MPP's board. When asked why he would be reaching out to the accuser suggesting legal action to avoid further damage to his client if his client is MPP's board, which was not accused, again, so Kruger and Gruber, with Chris Kruger, it's not going so well. This whole thing is already falling apart. He answered with the same, I will stand on my earlier comments for the time being. He also offered that he would stand by his earlier comments when we asked how we could be both conducting an outside review while also representing MPP in communications with the accuser. So an outside review would be someone who is not biased. When you are, a huge fan of the chair, and you love everything he does, and you're directly involved with the organization, you cannot be an outside lawyer. When SC asked Kruger if it is again, so Status Quo is asking Chris Kruger with Kruger and Gruber, if it is appropriate, MPP did not disclose his outreach to the accuser. He said, yes, I can attempt resolution of a dispute and examine the People's Party internal processes at the same time. Similarly, I can rub my tummy and pat my head at the same time. That is true. That is true. You can rub a tummy and pat your head at the same time. That is factual. But again, what Chris Kruger with Kruger and Gruber doesn't understand is that that's fine, but don't call yourself an outside lawyer, right? Okay, if you want to do that, what you're doing isn't necessarily the problem. The problem is that you're lying to people about being an outside looking in. You are an inside looking in, right, person. Nick Brana did not respond to Status Quo's request for comment and questions. So, why would all of this be happening if Nick Brana's innocent? That's what I'm saying. So, he might be innocent. It's very well possible that Nick Brana's an innocent guy and he did nothing wrong. But this is not the action that an innocent guy would typically take. I'm just saying. Threatening to sue someone within 2 hours of them saying something publicly in some capacity, that is not something an innocent person does. Just saying. And again, Chris Kruger with Kruger and Gruber. Again, the lawyer, Chris Kruger. I can't. I won't. Woo! How's everyone doing? So I got one more seg. Got one more seg for the show here, and it's a movie review. So if that's not your thing, that's okay. Hopefully y'all have a good rest of your day. I got a lot to say. Much to say. A lot to say, but I usually let myself say things in 1 to 2 hour chunks on a daily basis. Gotta slowly put the faucet out. God damn. Got a show happening. It's happening. It's happening. I really, it's crazy. It's happening. All right. So let's get in. I got a movie review here. That's right. Yesterday, I saw 8mm, aka also known as 8mm, starring Nicolas Cage. Now, again, for those of you that don't know, I'm on a Cage binge. I took a little temporary break from the Cage binge. But I'm trying to watch and own and review every Nicolas Cage film. And that's going to be more and more difficult as time goes on because he makes like 15,000 films a year. So 8mm, this is a 1999 movie, so it's it's a little old now. And so 8mm. So Nicolas Cage is a private detective, and he gets hired by like a rich person. This movie, I just want to say the movie it's a detective movie. So if you care about plot lines, this movie, if you already know all the plot, this movie is going to be a little less enjoyable, I think. So if you're planning on watching this, I might say turn this review off. I'm just giving you a little warning. It's a good movie to watch regardless, right? But part of the fun for me was constantly guessing how the ending was going to go. So I just want to say, if you're planning on watching this or you haven't seen it or whatever, pause this and watch the segment later. You'll have a good day. But anyway, so he's a private detective. He gets hired by a rich person. And her husband died, and inside of like the husband's things, she found what it seemed to be a snuff film. And then wanted to hire a private investigator to find out if it was a real, like the person was actually being murdered on camera, or if it's just a fake and it looks really good, and it's just like they use special effects or whatever. So that's the premise of the movie, and so basically, he finds out the answer to that, and it turns out, she actually died. And so basically, he finds all the people that did it. Confirmed that they did it, but then they retaliate. There's a big scene where they shoot each other and try to kill each other, but then not all of them die. So then Nick Cage hunts down the motherfuckers, and then it turns into the first 70% of the movie is like the investigation point part, and it's really good. He has like a partner for a part of the movie that he just like picks up in a porn shop, who's a good character. But this movie is really I really enjoyed it. One of my favorite parts about this movie was the music is so contextually inappropriate. Every once in a while, the music is really loud and it makes no sense in the context. And it's just I don't know who did the music mixing for this movie, but I appreciate it because it's just bizarre, right? And then the last 30% of the movie is kind of like, something like Mandy, right? Where Nick Cage just becomes an agent of revenge and he just hunts down the rest of the motherfuckers. He calls the dead girl's mother and asks her for permission, and she's like, yes, do it or whatever. A little more complicated than that. But then he goes, hunts him down, and kills the motherfuckers. And that part's great. It's great. The ending when he unmasks the one dude, oh, that was great. He's just some goofball, right? It's good ass movie. This movie was really, really good. I just have to say, I really enjoyed it. I thought this movie was fantastic. Nick Cage had some really good meltdowns. Really good meltdowns, at the end. I was thinking, is this going to be a Cage meltdown-free Cage movie? And then, when he gets into the revenge portion, he melts down. He melts the hell down. So it's a good movie. I enjoyed watching it. It's about 2 hours, so again, but I would say, again, it's the first 70% of the movie is the discovery, the new plot, it's really plot driven, story driven. And then the last bit, is the action packed part. But anyway, very, very much so enjoyed this. So I recommend watching 8mm, starring Nicolas Cage. Very good. I endorse it. It's good. Got a show. If I could get Cosmatos on my show, that'd be great. All right, y'all. I was just, the show's over. I already told y'all the show is over. But what's up? Apparently, people are still here. Okay, so, doing a show. I'm doing a show. Got a show going on. Look at this. I'm stretching my arms. Look at that. I recommend stretching if you can. Stretching is good for you. It's good for me. It's good for everybody involved. Just go ahead and stretch. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm really high. Anyway, so I'm just doing a show today, folks. Yeah, so watch my videos. I mean, go back and watch the videos that you haven't seen yet. They're really good. Is the cannabis legal in your area? Absolutely. 100% legal. It's better that way. Enjoyable, thought-provoking show this morning. I've got to get in the shower and go out. We are expecting a snowstorm. I don't want to have to leave until next week. Goddamn snowstorm. I love snow. Goddamn snow. It's great. Falls from the sky, and then it stays on the ground for an extended period of time. That's crazy. That's crazy! Y'all gotta watch my videos. I mean, I don't know what to tell. I'm uploading. I'm doing a lot of segments lately. Trying to expand the purviews a little bit. Snow is garbage. Go fuck you. Go fuck yourself, Catherine. You goddamn fucker. Prick. So watch some vids. Goddamn vids. Gotta watch. You gotta. As someone who doesn't drive, you would like garbage ass snow. I love walking in snow. It's like the crunch. Oh. I love snow. One of my favorite things to do when I didn't have access to snow was to play Minecraft. Well, I remember, I would play Minecraft and do shrooms and then, walk around in the snow. Because Minecraft, I love the snow worlds in Minecraft. Oh, they're so great. I love snow. I love any video game where there's snow. Skyrim, love the snow in that game. Mega Man Legends 2, love the snow in that game. I like movies where there's snow. Anything about... I'm a huge snow fan. I like walking in it. I like falling in it. I like looking at it. It's great. I don't know what to tell you. It's great. Alright, y'all. That is the program for today. Got a show to do, and I'm doing it. And, well, I did it. And it's done. And it's gone. And it's gone. Yeah. That's right. Just give me a second here. Fuck.
All of a sudden, we can't talk about Neanderthal DNA anymore.
The reason the market is doing what it's doing is people are sitting at home getting the checks from the government, okay? And this fair share is a bullshit concept. It is a bullshit concept. A bullshit concept. It's just a way of attacking wealthy people.
But the real problem is that our leaders are dumb. Dumb. So dumb. But
there was no response. They didn't have one for that. Now it's very sad. Very sad. I went in yesterday and there was a television screen, and I said, this is genius. $7 million for reef fish management, $25 million to combat Asian carp, $2.5 million to count the number of amberjack fish in the Gulf of Mexico.
I liked beer. I still like beer. But I did not drink beer to the point of blacking out.
But it's a class action lawsuit against all machines.
Bad deal, should have never been thought of.